Aries, welcome to 5th House Divination. My name is Kirsty and today we are doing what are your options in April 2021 reading for you. So this reading looks at a situation that's coming towards you, your reaction to that situation, and then the two main options or choices that you'll have in that situation. We then look a little bit further into the sort of the repercussions of each choice, and hopefully that will then give you some kind of thoughts on how and what decision to make for yourself. The readings are general, so please do just take what resonates and leave the rest. If this doesn't sound like your situation, then please do check out your other sun, moon and rising signs. There may be something there for you. And this reading may also feed into or be sort of connected in some way to the other April reading that I've done, which talks about if a situation is or isn't going to happen in April 2021. That's your question answered. So I'll link that video at the end of this one, just in case that might be relevant in some way for you. So Aries, the underlying energy that we've got here is judgment. And this talks about a rebirth. It talks about sort of getting towards the end of a cycle. So this is something that you've been doing for a long time, and it talks about changing that up and rebirthing. And are you going to resurrect a situation or breathe new life into a situation, or are you going to move on to something new? So you are rebirthing. You're closing something out, and you're sort of rebirthing or changing and morphing before you then start a new cycle. So this is quite exciting, guys. And what's actually coming in for you then, so the energy that's trying to come through is the Tower. And so here's this change that that this rebirth is bringing about. So the Tower talks about shifting and changing the structures of our life. These are the things that I've got to a point where we've outgrown them. So this could be anything. This could be sort of jobs, people, relationships. This could even be if this isn't a sort of a kind of a dramatic outside event, then this could be talking about an internal shift in perception and how we think about things. The Tower is can often talk about an unexpected change. But I think looking at the card, because you're in this judgment sort of energy, or that we've got judgment energy underlying, I think this is change that is needed. So generally with the Tower, if it comes in and if it's a surprise, then it means that there's probably some kind of change that's been needed to be made. But sometimes we refuse to make that change. So the universe comes in and says, well, this change needs to be made. So if you're not going to do it, I'm going to do it for you. So generally then, the energy is talking about the shift and change. And it is a major arcana. So this is a fairly big sort of change or shift in our life. It could be external, could be something specific that sort of supported us, or it could be a shift in perception. What's blocking that is the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles talks about resources and legacy resources. So these are the resources that either we sort of build up to a point where we can leave them or pass them on to others, or these are the resources that we inherit from our family and from others. It doesn't just necessarily talk about money. It can talk about skills. It can talk about anything really, behavior patterns, DNA. This is just anything that we pass on. So there is something to do with something that we've inherited is stopping this change from coming through, or something that we're trying to build is possibly stopping this change from coming through. So for example, just as an example, something that came through is talking about business. This could be if you want to make a change in your life, say perhaps in your personal life, for example, but you have your own company, there may be something with regards to that you need to do with the company that would stop you from making that change. it's sort of giving you a little bit of a hiccup. So this is something to do with, sort of legacy, things that you inherit, things that you leave behind that is stopping this sort of change from coming through. So your reaction to this is the King of Swords. So the King of Swords is very logical. So this is your kind of going into logical mode. Right, okay, so what's the most sensible thing to do in this situation? I can think this out, I can think this through. What should I do? So this is obviously for you guys, it's interesting because normally Aries, you'd just be sort of straight in, taking action and charging forward. But I think there is a pursuit. You really want clarity, you really want to understand the best way forward. And the Ace of Swords is the King of Swords, sorry, is a mental energy. And this does talk about perspective and clarity, and the Tower can sometimes talk about a shift in perspective, a kind of a groundbreaking or earth-shattering shift in perspective. Okay, so guys, so the choices that we have before you is the Ace of Wands, which would be your usual sort of modus operandi, kind of Ace of Wands is talking about making a new start with regards to something that really inspires you, something that you're really attracted to, something that really kind of floats your boat and gets your creative juices going. So that's on one side. So one option is for you to sort of follow your inspiration, and what it is that you're attracted to. There may be something new, sort of a new spark of something. Could be a relationship, could be a creative project, but there is something new that you're finding attractive, or there's an attractive new start that you'd like to make. So that's on one hand. On the other hand, we've got this Four of Swords energy, and the Four of Swords talks about healing. It's a rest and recuperation card, and it talks about resting and recuperating from previous sort of losses, pain, grief, disappointment. So the Three of Swords we see here on the wall talks about it talks about pain, grief, loss, and then the fourth sword, this sword, the fourth sword brings clarity. It's a new sort of clarity, and with that new clarity and understanding brings healing. So the choice, looking at this, and there you are with your, with your sword. So the choice then really is to, the situation, I think there's a rebirth. There's a situation that you're coming out of, and you can either, I think the choice is then to kind of jump headlong into a new beginning with something that you're really attracted to, which is the Aries way of doing things. Or we've got this Four of Swords, and this is kind of taking a little bit of a time out, using the clarity and the understanding gained from previous disappointments, previous losses, to understand how to move forward. This is kind of jumping in with both feet. This is sort of thinking about taking a little bit of time out to sort of meditate on the situation. So if we follow down through the creative route, we've got the Empress. So whatever this new beginning is, it throws you into this really sort of beautiful creative energy. The Empress is the divine, the divine feminine energy, and she is the real sort of creative power in the universe. So this talks about, this is something, this new beginning will be something where you get to create from a really sort of beautiful space, and this brings you into an energy of the Queen of Cups. there is a real, between the Empress and the Queen of Cups, the Queen of Cups is a sort of an emotionally nurturing energy. So this together, this may, for some of you, not for all of you, but for some of you, this may speak to motherhood, possibly, but obviously that won't that won't resonate for all of you. But we've got this creative energy that brings in this beautiful Empress. So this is an act of creation. You will be creating something. This could be a project, it could be a creative new job, so it could be creating life. And the outcome then is going to, this is you in the Queen of Cups energy. And the Queen of Cups is a nurturing, a protecting energy, sort of an emotionally balanced. But I feel that whatever this is that you would be creating, this is going to be something that is then, you're going to then defend and nurture, but it's going to give you profound emotional balance and contentment, I think, with this. So that's beautiful. And on the other side, we've got the Four of Swords, which is this healing energy that we talked about. And we've got the Queen of Pentacles that comes in after that. The Queen of Pentacles can be the partner card. So you may be sort of, possibly you may be partner, you may become a partner to something or someone. But I think with this Four of Swords energy, this is speaking very much to self-care. The Queen of Pentacles uses her resources, understands how her resources can be used to nurture herself and to nurture other people. So I think through this healing, this new clarity, this meditation that we've got, you're going to find yourself in a space of being able to care for yourself and heal and care for others, which the outcome is going to take you to a place where you're engaging. There is a new opportunity that you'd be curious about or engaging with. This is something, real. This could be a job, it could be a course of study. But I think through this process of healing and learning how to nurture and using your resources to nurture, it could be that the lessons that you've learned and the healing that you've done, you can then move on and use that to not only to help yourself but to help other people. And then this puts you in, the outcome of this puts you into the energy of the Page of Pentacles. So the pages, as I say, I see as interacting with something tangible, a new opportunity, so job, course, relationship, something. And this is you sort of understanding and learning about that. So this is really lovely. So on the one hand, we've got sort of following something that you're really inspired about, dropping into profound creativity and coming out with something that emotionally you're going to be responsible for, you're going to be nurturing. As I say, for some of you, this could talk about motherhood. On the other side, we've got sort of a meditation and a healing and a sort of a sitting back and thinking about things, which will then lead to an energy of material nurture for yourself and for others. And I feel that will then lead you into a new opportunity, or the opportunity to engage with something new. I'm just going to pull a quick clarifier then for these two outcome cards. So this is beautiful, Aries. This does look, it looks like a win-win sort of situation. Obviously the Tower is, it's major arcana, so it's going to be a fairly big shift. So I was just looking at this Ten of Pentacles, and it does seem to be the sort of the, I think, as I say, the sticking point seems to be there's either something that you've inherited or some kind of inheritance, either materially or physically, or, you know, there's something that is sort of blocking this change from occurring, or there is a concern about, if you go with this change, there is a concern then about what you would then be able to leave behind. What would your legacy be? So yeah, okay. Take that how it resonates. So this Queen then of Cups, we've got the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups to me talks about leaving behind situations because you've decided to go for kind of wish fulfillment. It talks about moving towards something that emotionally is going to be very fulfilling. So this is the 8. So the 8 is going after the 9, and at the 9 of Cups, this is something that we've created emotionally, and emotional fulfillment. So I think whatever it is that you're sort of creating here in this energy is something that you will achieve for yourself, and it is something that will create a profound emotional satisfaction. Yeah, so on the other side we've got this Page of Pentacles. And the clarifier for the Page of Pentacles is the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles is the what's the word? The Apprentice card. This talks about putting in a lot of effort, a lot of energy, and refining and learning a craft. So this experience that you've been through, when you're sort of learning to nurture yourself and using your resources, I think this could possibly lead you onto some kind of course of study. But there is something. So with the with the Page of Pentacles, this is engaging with an opportunity. A new opportunity, you know, something that you don't really know an awful lot about, but you're interested in and curious about. So I say this is often seen as the student card. And then this Eight of Pentacles is the apprenticeship. It's the craftsman card. It's, you know, honing and learning and really kind of getting into it. So I think this route will, there is going to be some sort of practical skill, I think, involved with this side. So interesting. So we've got kind of emotional, you know, profound emotional fulfillment on one side from whatever it is that you create. And then on the other side, we've got an opportunity to hone a craft or become a master or an expert in something. Interesting, guys. Wow, what it is to be Aries. But as I say, the Tower, you know, this Tower energy is going to be a pretty profound shift, and with this judgment card really does speak to a rebirth. So big choice, guys. Hopefully, if this is for you, this has given you a little bit of clarity about the possible sort of outcome of the choices, and yeah, good luck with this if this is for you. If not, do check out your other Sun, Moon, Rising signs. And I will link the other Aries reading that I was talking about to the end. This talks about if a situation or a particular question that you have, whether that would happen in April. Speak to you soon. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.